play on this is capitalism's bad and Spotify's bad, and
Best Buy is getting rid of all physical media.
The end of an era.
You know,
End of an
so
era.
if you're an artist, yes, be mad, but at the same time, be smart about it.
All right, man, let's jump into this first topic here. Let's talk about good old streaming services like Spotify.
Again?
Man, Spotify out here making adjustments. So Billboard reports that the giant Swedish streaming service is restructuring its royalty system and that it will demonetize tracks that had previously received 0.5% of Spotify's royalty pool. Spotify will frame this as a way to combat fraud and to limit payments to ambient noise generators. But it could also have a tremendous effect on the service's role with the independent music world. So they basically already don't give you anything and they just about to cut into that mug again. Go ahead, Lon,
Two of the three things are actually reasonable, I think.
Yeah, when I hear that ambient noise situation,
Ambient noise.
you got to stop that.
And
Yeah,
the idea of fraud, detecting fraud.
Yeah, so the three, one, a minimum play time length for non-music noise tracks. So like there's a band that came out in 2014 that released an album called Sleep or something, and track one was called Z, track two is called ZZ, track three is called ZZZ, and there's just empty noise. And they had their, so they were collecting money and their marketing was like, hey, go stream our album when you're sleeping. So they're cutting out back on that. So even though I don't even really necessarily even agree with that, I can at least understand it, I guess. The other one was penalizing distributors and labels that fraudulently, pretty much anybody that is engaging in practices to boost numbers when they shouldn't be boosted. Stuff like that. Those two ideas I can get along board with. But the third one is an absolute. It's kind of a slap in the face.
What's the third one?
So the third one is there, like you said, there's a new threshold so that if a song does not get a certain percentage, you don't get any of the money that it generates it from.
0.5.
A certain percentage.
So 0.5.
Okay.
0.5.
0.5%. So the threshold, according to MBW, will demonetize any track that had previously received 0.5% of Spotify's royalty pool. So essentially, if you have a catalog of 400 songs, and let's say 300 of those songs don't generate 0.5%, or whatever that is, then that money will go to a big pool that will then get automatically flushed into major artists. So it's
cold game right there. That's a cold game.
Yeah.
Robbing the poor.
Not good.
People that are creatives that have to upload something through Spotify, or if you have your own streaming service, and that's one of the ones that, or your own, I misspoke. You know what I mean?
Distribution company.
Thank you. You have one of those, you go through these streaming services. As creators, we see what the payout is, how it's already chopped down 8 million times. So when I read this, I just was like, is this what we really going to do this? To your point, I understand about, cracking down on the troll albums and,
the fraudulent stuff.
Yeah, I can dig that, right?
I can at least get along. So I can get on,
I can get on board with that.
Yeah.
But come on, man. You're already not giving out.
So it's they I think the way that they're trying to frame this is that this is a good way for them to help the quote unquote real artists.
Oh.
The artists that are realistically musicians and realistically making money in the industry. Because they're going to take all those fractions, it's like Office Space, right? So they're taking the fractions of the pennies and all that stuff, and they're just putting it in this big pot, which it already goes into anyways, and they're just giving more of that to the bigger artists.
So when the subroutine compounds the interest, right, it uses all these extra decimal places that just get rounded off. So we simplified the whole thing, and we round them all down and just drop the remainder into an account that we open.
So you're stealing.
This is already a thing that happens in general.
Right.
Like, for example, if super music nerd, but if you're a musician and you're not signed up for Sound Exchange, you probably should be. Because even though you may collect money through your distribution company, if there's another way that royalties get collected through Sound Exchange. And if you're not signed up, everything that gets collected through that pot gets put in a pot and gets thrown to the biggest artists. Like
somebody's getting paid off
they
of
take that money.
He's literally shown me this.
Yeah, so this is a real thing. So Spotify is they're doing more of the same, but the fact that they're cutting creatives and out on something that this is just not a good thing, man.
Because the thing is, if you're going to cut down on the fraud and think people you shouldn't be paying at all for no real reason,
right?
Then that should be what? More money for you to make sure you're paying all the actual artists. But instead,
you would think that would be.
You're just like,
maybe that makes too much sense.
You know, I don't know. Is this a thing where they're like, okay, we're gonna shake some of these suckers out the game?
I think it's a mixture.
You know, stop clogging up our service with
this mediocrity,
with this music nobody's ever going to listen to, and all these.
This was
free up our servers or something.
Yeah, exactly. We're tired of paying because Spotify as a company doesn't make any money.
This was well thought out though. You know they've been working on this.
Here's the crazy thing: the way that they're setting it up, that this big pot of money, that's how it works now. People don't even know that. Like that's how it works now, and then it's just kind of distributed in different ways. But like the fact that they're cutting lower people out, I think that it's not like this type of idea isn't done in general,
right?
Because think about like YouTube, right? We couldn't monetize on YouTube until we had 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours.
Right.
So there's a minimum threshold. Once you reach that, you're good. The difference with Spotify, and these other potential, platforms doing this as well, is that it's like they're taking something away that was already given to you. It's like they're going in reverse.
I think they're trying to appease the bigger artists as well.
Well, it's trying to keep the labels.
Yeah, try to keep them
because the labels
using
are
their platform.
Yeah, the label. It's all about the labels. Yeah. It's all about the major artist label system, and they want more money. So it's like even though you have all these independent artists that are like, hey, you need to pay more. They're like, all right, cool, we'll fix the system. But they're fixing it for the people that, like Jay said, that are literally in bed with, like, the label system and the streaming distribution companies are like this. You know what I mean? Like they're besties. So
and they have to be in order for it to.
Yeah. So this is one of those conversations. When we were talking. Remember when we were talking about Black Star and. And
the Luminary. Yeah.
And they tried the Luminary thing, and we were just like, well, no, like, you tried it. Sure, I can respect you for trying it because you're trying to battle back against something, but at the same time, like, you have to have a reasonable way for people to get your music. And it's, I commend them for that, but at the same time, it's like, I'm very curious as if this is going, I don't know what the alternatives really are.
That's a good question. That's a good comment.
Spotify?
I don't know either.
Because in general, as streaming companies do this in general.
Right.
So the alternative is something like Bandcamp, which just got bought out by a major corporation.
Yeah, so it's probably about to change.
Yeah. And Bandcamp is, we've always championed Bandcamp as creators because of the quote unquote direct to consumer, but everything still is going to get chopped down. So who knows with the new purchase? I don't know who the company was, but
it's looking pretty bad, man.
Oh man, don't tell me that long.
It's looking pretty bad. So I
like Bandcamp, man.
Yeah, man. To me, I champion YouTube.
Yeah.
And I champion because at least there you can be direct to your people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If you can, like, as a musician, like today, like if you really want to succeed as a musician, cannot depend on streamers like the streaming platforms. You can't. Like, you have to be your own type of content person, which means you should probably have your own YouTube and you should probably create your own content with whatever you're doing. And then just
YouTube,
supplement everything else with your music. Like, yeah, I'll put out music. Yes, it's on these platforms, but that should never be your number one. It shouldn't be. But anyways, I'm done preaching. So it's bad.
That's game, though. That's game.
No, I mean, and the thing is, if you, as someone who maybe if you care about artistry, look into another platform.
Yeah.
I don't use Spotify specifically because I think it's the worst of the streamers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the most popular.
I don't even understand how the user interface isn't that great to me.
No, that's no commercial, but that's why I use Tidal. I think Tidal's user interface is just better.
I just YouTube everything. So
the artists are just not making any money off. Like, it's just crazy because I can't say they're not making anything, because you know what? When I look at like the subscription number, like for a particular artist, there are the guys at the top and who have followings and who actually were getting it before when you actually had to sell records.
Yep.
Someone like someone like a Johnny Gill, you can look at his numbers and you're like, wow, he's really streaming a lot for particular songs.
Mm-hmm.
Because these songs are on playlists and this, that, and the third. But, there's some guy that just came out and I was like, I mean, I understand this is what you got to do.
Yeah.
But you're not getting anything out of this.
One thing that I would be okay with is if they did this maybe like moving forward and everybody that has music already on the platform, maybe it's like a hard pause. Like, okay, cool. You already have your music on there. you're still under whatever. But anything that new comes that hits Spotify in 2024 off, you have to meet these thresholds. I would almost be okay with that.
That would be too much like the right thing to do.
Yeah,
Way too much like the right thing.
Yeah.
But I would be okay to an extent with that because, you're not ostracizing. I want my 2.5 cents from that song that I don't listen to anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I made it.
Mine.
Get out of here
It's
and
kind of
hustle.
like a
Get your
monopoly.
show money, guys.
It is
Kind
a
of like a
monopoly.
monopoly because they can
Sell
do
some merch.
exactly what they want to do, and all people have to do is just grin and bear it and be like, all right, I guess that's what it is right now.
Yeah.
Lone spoke to it when he talked about alternative content and other options. I think that falls in line with the merch, the streaming, the docu-series, the mini doc, the this, the that, whatever the shorts are, all that type of stuff.
You gotta do more than just
Diversify your funds.
There it is.
I said it
Shout
like
out to Wu-Tang.
a year or two ago. Even you have to be a content creator alongside of a musician. You don't have to do a ton, but you should have a YouTube presence. Everybody listening that is a musician, you should have a YouTube presence to some degree.
Yeah, that's
to
why the
some degree.
content creators are making a lot more than the actual rappers and artists and
Facts.
And
singers and songwriters.
And all the payment stuff is right up front. It's transparent. You know what you're going to make. The dashboard works. You can see the very next day how much you made the day before and estimate it. So
And say what you want about, like Terry said, the content creators. You can say what you want about the content creators or people that just do this and become popular. But if they are consistent and they have a consistent regimen and schedule, they are eating.
𝐀𝐁𝐎
Way more.
𝐀𝐁𝐎 is streaming 24/7 right now from prison.
is he in prison?
He's in prison. I'm sure it's a mock prison.
𝐀𝐁𝐎?
Yeah.
Who
Really?
is this?
He's
For
no, he's
the
on
riot
Twitch.
for the riot stuff?
No, he's just literally streaming, locked up in prison, and people are coming on the show, visiting him. So Drewski's been on there, Krishan Rock's been on there.
Wait, is he there willingly?
Yes,
Okay, y'all lost me on
I
this.
have
one.
no
I
idea.
have
Who
no
is this?
idea what this is.
𝐀𝐁𝐎.
𝐀𝐁𝐎.
𝐀𝐁𝐎, he's a Twitch streamer. He blew up like 2 or 3 years ago. I mean, like overnight almost.
Okay.
Like just took off.
Say the jail part again.
He's live streaming from jail for 24/7 essentially for a week, 7 days straight.
Hey man, get that money.
Yeah, he's in an actual jail. I'm pretty sure the prisoners in there aren't actual prisoners. It's probably everybody's probably
I see.
actors
Oh, I
or whatnot, but it's a for real jail.
Okay.
And he's streaming from this jail every day for 7 days,
So he's-
24/7. So you can go on his Twitch right now,
Right.
and it's a jail stream.
Got you.
What?
And people are visiting him, becoming inmates in jail for this whole week.
Now, granted,
We're living in the last days. I just tell you.
Granted, now,
I'm sorry,
What
man.
in the AI are y'all talking about?
now,
man?
now,
Like,
being said, now with all this being said, now he is intentionally.
Yes, he's
a
doing it on
content-
purpose.
He is a content creator.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
yeah.
But
I thought he was in the hole.
To go off with it,
Here
well,
we go.
kinda. But what Terry's saying, like there are also other people out there that are literally artists that have they still make music, but they maybe talk about music. Like DJ Payne is one, or there's another producer, Curtis King. He's a content creator. He makes music as well. There are a handful of people that really have like jumped pretty deep. Cooking Soul is a great example because he makes his own music and he's got a great YouTube channel.
Yeah, he does.
And a lot of remixes, and he drops stuff constantly, and he's built a big fan base. I'm sure he's eating pretty nice off YouTube money. But like,
Dude from a Detroit rapper dude that streams playing video games now, he don't even rap no more.
oh,
Danny Brown.
yeah.
No, not Danny
Not Danny
Brown.
Brown.
T.
No,
No,
Grizzly.
Danny Brown's on a podcast.
T.
Yeah,
Grizzly.
T. Grizzly.
T. Grizzly. T.
Yeah.
Grizzly.
He got his
T.
own
Grizzly.
GTA servers
Yeah.
where they
Come on,
doing.
man.
Yeah, role playing.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't need to rap no more.
Yep.
That's where it's
crazy.
at.
Lil Yachty said the streamers and the content creators is blowing the artists away in bread. He said it.
Got to diversify, like somebody said recently.
Yeah.
Got to diversify, but you have to. If you're
Well,
an
and-
artist, don't depend. I think that the play on this is capitalism's bad, and Spotify's bad, and
And Best Buy is getting rid of all physical media.
The end of an era.
End of an
So
era. If you're an artist, yes, be mad, but at the same time, be smart about it.
Figure out something else.
But they say pay attention to the trends.
Come on, man.